welcome to another official Junky Spot review. Today we're going to be looking at it is a 13 centimeter Cojoo. And please forgive me if I'm pronouncing that wrong, but yeah, we're going to go with Cojoo for now. Because I really don't know how to pronounce it, but it's all good, because you are just going to see the doll, and that's all good, because you want to see how the doll works. Yes. This 13 centimeter doll is very similar to the 3 other dolls that they have by Hujoo. This one is a Suve, and the main difference between these two are the heads. The bodies are actually the same body, and that's why they're pretty much the same height, except this guy's a little bit taller than this one because of its head. But other than that, I mean, the bodies for this one is basically the same bodies for this. It's just your heads that are different. So here's another side-by-side comparison of the smaller Hujoo babies that they have in comparison to this newer one that they have. So let me go ahead and run some specs by you. He is at 13 centimeters, that's his height. His head is 6 inches. His eye size, he'll be using a 16 millimeter eye. And then if you look at his chest or his bust, it's 7.2, and he's got hips at 8 centimeters. And his little foot is a 1.9 centimeter. So this is him wearing a 6'7" wig. This is like a standard USD size. Let's go ahead and start looking at our head for the doll. So very characteristic of most Hujoo dolls. I already popped up some of the cap so I can open it. But essentially you're just going to move it back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and it will open. So you'll notice that you have 2 pegs on this side, and then you'll have the 2 matching pegs on this side that it'll go into, and you've got your string. So the way that they strung this guy here is actually rather interesting because unlike some of our other dolls that we've had, when they do the stringing, usually it's 1 loop here and 1 loop here, and that'll be loops for like the arms and then the rest of the body for the legs. But this one, it looks like they tied everything together, which it's good in a way because so the Hujoo heads are very much like your other ones, like your wings and then your berries. They have the 2 pegs on this side and then 2 holes in which they go into on this side over here. There's also one down here at the bottom that matches this hole on this side in the head. Inside your head you'll find your strings. There is no S-hooks or anything like that for these dolls, but they are strung with elastic and they're tied off with a knot. The knot is tied like this, and it's tied in this size so that if something gets loose, it's not gonna jump through the rest of the body. This is a pretty big knot that's not gonna, you know, slip right through this hole here. This does have the arms and the legs tied together in here. It should be 2 strings of elastic, and I haven't dissected it all the way yet, but I do see 4 strings here, so I'm assuming they tied everything together and they put it here in a big knot. But as I mentioned before, they do use that 16 millimeter eye, and they do have an eye dish here, so you really are going to have to pretty much stick with that 16 millimeters. I wouldn't go anything bigger than that because it's not going to fit into the dish. So the rest of our body is actually pretty well articulated. It's got different little points in which it will bend. He's got little notches right here, as you can see, that'll help him lock it and he'll sit. I will let you know you will do a tad bit of balancing trick for him to have him sit, since his head is a bit bigger. You may have to have him slouch a little bit and tuck in his legs because he's got a big head. But it's not impossible to do. So I've balanced him out and he's sitting. He can stand as well, so let's go ahead and stand him for you. So once again, he's balanced out and he can stand. Looking at the joints themselves of what they are made out of, he has in the arms a similar locking mechanism that will keep his arm out and in place. When you go down to this portion right here, it has a ball that is almost essentially put to this part of his arm that helps him bend his arm and move it around. And then when we get really tiny here on the hands, they actually did make a small floating piece here for his wrists so they can go ahead and move a little bit here and move side to side here. But everything's so tiny. When you get to these little dolls, like, it's just amazing to think that somebody actually makes something this small. On his torso here, he has the ability to move from side to side. He can move back and he can slouch forward as well. So there's this tiny little tummy. If you move down, you'll see his legs. Also same story, it's got like that half ball piece down here that's attached to the lower part of the leg that enables him to move his leg and to bend it, and it swivels around as well. And same thing similar to his hands, he has this little floating piece here that enables his foot to kind of swivel and move around. So I think it's really amazing, this doll, anything that's just crafted this small, and it is made out of ABS plastic, so that means that it's like that tougher plastic. So I mean, he's a little bit more durable than some of our other resin friends. I wouldn't necessarily say go ahead and just like drop him wherever you want, but like, he is made out of plastic. It's not made out of resin. So I mean, same rules apply for most everything else, except when you go to things of face-ups and whatnot. When you're removing face-ups off of these guys, I've already done a lot of experimenting and whatnot on my own. I really wouldn't use Winsor & Newton since these guys are made out of plastic. The Winsor & Newton is really strong and it might actually melt them. So I'd stay away from that. There's a cleaning agent that I have been experimenting with that I've been reading on forums and whatnot that works really well with vinyl and then these ABS guys. And it's called Simple Green, and it's just a household cleaning product, and it works really well if you're going to be cleaning these dolls. And I'll link a video to my experiments with using it below. But other than that, I mean, they're really pretty simple dolls. I mean, they're really cute. They're tiny if you're into tinies, and you know, or if you want to make a little chibi character. These are really cute and just really fun to have. Like I mentioned before, they are 13 centimeters, so they're on the smaller range of the dolls realm. Let me go ahead and I'll get my Hujoo Dana out so I can show you him next to her. So this is my Hujoo Dana. They're 45 centimeters, and like I mentioned before, this is a 13 centimeter doll. So these are considerably tinier than our other friends. So she's basically a standard MSD size doll, and this is the little baby. So I mean, it's really small. It's a really small doll, and they're really cute, and they're not badly priced at all. I'll go ahead and I'll link, like I said, the website for Junky Spot in which you can buy these dolls there, and I hope you do go check them out because they're really cute, and they do make, like I said, they're the ones that make the Hujoo babies as well. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll show you a little bit of comparison side by side from the Hujoo babies, and we'll take a look at the two together. So this is the Hujoo baby, this is my Suve, and so this is our Cojoo, and as you can see, the bodies, they're pretty much identical. They're the same thing, even down to looking at the hands. Everything is the same. The only difference is the head. The head is bigger than the Hujoo baby's head is, but other than that, they're pretty much identical. They're pretty much the same except for that head. And that pretty much covers up my review. I hope it proved to be helpful to some of those who were curious or interested about the doll. They're super duper cute, and I think that it's pretty amazing for the price and what he can do and whatnot. If you are curious about these dolls, please go check out the Junky Spot. You can check them out at www.junkyspot.com. Thanks for watching. Bye!